What if I told you there's a way to make your voice more attractive to women instantly without even changing the pitch? Why do some men naturally command attention with a deep, rounded voice while others are still struggling? In just a moment, I will reveal 4 simple ways to make your voice more attractive. The last 2 are so easy, you can basically start doing them today. But first, here's some rapid-fire bonus tips that I found while researching this video. First, make stronger neck muscles. Apparently, working out your neck changes the vibrations in your voice. It's a good exercise anyway to protect yourself from injury if you do martial arts, but it also helps with your voice. Then, make sure to drink enough water. Dry vocal cords sound higher pitched. Also, when you drink water, drink room temperature water because cold vocal cords also sound higher. Lastly, apparently, blowing bubbles through a straw helps. To be honest, I don't know if that helps, but I think it improves lung capacity, which can be relevant, especially later in the video. Anyway, so let's get to the most obvious way to improve your voice and tonal projection. If you struggle with that first one, make sure to stick around for point number 2 because it's gonna make this technique basically easier to execute. Part number 1, remove filler words. I think that the main reason that, well, guys can sort of come across a bit unsure is...
Manager? In what?
Too many filler words, obviously, right? It seems stupidly simple, especially if I act it out like that. But you would be shocked how many guys don't realize how many extra words they add into their sentences.
Not yet. No, someday. Yeah. Let me know when you get there. Okay. Yeah. Pardon?
Every time you add extra words, it communicates 2 things. Firstly, it looks like you don't know what you're talking about and that you need extra time to figure out what you're trying to say. Secondly, you look nervous. You can't handle social pressure. You're uncomfortable with silence. So you have to clutter up extra stuff and, fill the gaps of silence with nonsense. You know what the main thing women are attracted to is? Confidence, right? So why speak in a way that displays a lack of confidence? So as a homework exercise, if you really want to take this serious, record yourself talking. Just talk about anything and do it for 5 minutes only and see if you notice how many times you say Once you notice this, you can take steps of improving it later. Part 2, use pauses effectively.
I never felt like super excited to be there. I felt like there is more to life, so I move around a lot. That's all I want to say. You're cute. Do you want to hang out sometime?
Maybe, yeah.
You don't have to decide now. Depends on how you make the decision.
Now, if you've watched me for a while, you will know by now that I'm kind of an introvert myself. And you will also know the introvert's secret weapon. I've mentioned it in a couple of videos. Our tendency towards silence can be leveraged in an amazing way. I could make an entire video course on the power of silence and, silence in social communication and so on, especially in romantic situation, how it helps you. But for now, let's keep it simple. And here is basically the overview, okay? There is 2 types of pauses. A, the mid-sentence pause, and B, the reaction pause. The mid-sentence pause is easy for you to start doing today. You can start right now, just listen to how I explain it. Basically, you start a sentence and then leave a pause. Kind of like in the middle. That builds tension, intrigue, and it shows that you are careful with your words.
Excuse me. Hi.
Hi.
You look interesting.
Thank you.
Where are you going?
Home.
Home? Why are you saying it like that?
It's the end of the day. I will go home.
Okay.
It shows you're relaxed and not in a rush. It draws the audience in. I mean, how did you feel right now? And puts a slight level of pressure on them. It's a little bit of a frame shift. It's easy to do this wrong, to be honest. So listen to this bad example. You can talk a little bit and then you can finish the sentence. Okay, didn't really have the same effect, right? So how about this? You can talk a little bit and then you can finish the sentence. So the second one I want to explain is the reaction pause, or as I like to call it, the God mode pause. This one is way harder, actually, because it's so much more uncomfortable to execute, but it gives you so much more power if done correctly. Basically, it goes like this. You say something, the other person responds, and then right when they finish talking, you pause. You don't say anything. You hold the pressure.
What makes you a good friend? Being 8 minutes early for an appointment is one thing. You're not late. You're not late.
Yes, because I'm always afraid of being late.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I think I'm good at communication, and well, I'm always there for them.
That's
and
sweet.
even the distance can't stop me because I still have friends from home, and we can't really meet. Maybe like 2-3 times a year now.
Right.
But we're still friends and still update each other. So
That's worth a lot. You're a sweet girl. It's cool.
I hope
Yeah.
so.
No, I think so. It's very important.
You're gonna feel cringe surging through your body. You feel your heart race. You start to panic. And you want to say something so bad. You want to smile. You want to laugh to break the tension. But you're gonna hold it. You're gonna build it. You're gonna sit in that cringe. And in this moment, two things happen. Now, the first thing is she's gonna keep talking a lot of the time. Either she wasn't finished speaking anyway, or she feels the pressure to contribute more now and to fill in that silence herself. So that's amazing for the power dynamic, right? Now she's worried. Does he think I'm weird? Am I making sense? Am I talking too much? Like, you basically give your thoughts over to her. And this technique, so to say, was so simple. All you did was nothing in a way. I mean, you had to stand in that cringe for just a little longer. The other thing that might happen is she also is able to hold the pressure and basically holds it back. And now you're staring at each other, which can be awkward, but it can also be incredible, flirtatious, sexual even. But that's, too much detail now. As I said, I can do a whole course on that. The basic idea is some girls won't even notice that you're doing a long pause because it will just be perceived as, oh, cool, this guy's relaxed. He's not trying so hard. In your head, maybe it feels like a lot of pressure, but maybe she just feels you as being chill, in the moment, relaxed, kind of a chat. Or other option, she might see it as a game. She knows you're pausing, so she stares right back at you into your eyes, holds the pressure, and you have this moment of connection. Because now you're speaking this non-verbal language. Suddenly you're not just, some guy yapping to her, blah, blah, blah. She's heard it all before. You're playful, you're romantic, you're flirting. So many guys, all the time, ask me, Alex, what's a good flirty line? How do I sexualize the conversation? How do I escalate, right? And this is it. Literally just saying nothing and looking in her eyes after she finishes speaking says so much more than any flirtatious line could ever do. Now, of course, this takes a little bit of practice, right? You won't get it right the first time. You might look a bit like a serial killer or a bit weird. But if you get better at it, you can create a special connection with her that nobody else achieved. You can make her feel stuff that she doesn't feel with other guys. Now, side note here, this is going to be so much easier to do when you're physically relaxed, when you feel grounded, and when you do the right type of breathing. Part 3, breathing techniques. So why are most guys not relaxed? Apart from the inner game side, shyness and awkwardness, there's a simple physical change you can make today to make yourself feel more relaxed instantly. And it's the way you breathe. Basically, most guys, they breathe up here in their upper chest. Their shoulders rise and fall. They're only filling their lungs in the process. If you've ever done Vipassana meditation or anything like that, you probably learn about belly breathing. So that basically means deep breaths into your lower abdomen. So let's try it together. Put your hands on your belly, and as you breathe in, make sure you stick your gut out with air. You pump your belly with air, kind of like this. Goes in again. We're so used to our chest rising, right? Here I'm putting air in my lungs now, that it might feel a bit awkward if you've never done that. But really use the hands, and you can breathe in and then kind of push the air out again with your hands. So you can kind of see how I'm pushing the air more down. And if you can make this a regular part of your breath, it will change the way you feel in your body. Trust me, you're going to be more grounded, more balanced. You also get more oxygen to your brain. Your voice is going to be deeper because, I don't know, for some reason you're just more grounded, more stable. And your heart also slows down. Like, it's such a crazy hack to just be more relaxed within 5 seconds. You're going to be in your body, right down in your lower chakra, so to say. And you're not going to be up in your head calculating and thinking about meetings and stuff. By the way, quick tip. Go to a doctor, I noticed from friends, and check if you have a deviated septum. It's basically, you might have a bone in your nose that kind of sticks through your breathal canals that makes you breathe worse. Like, some of my friends had surgery. I didn't have it personally, but they said they could sleep much better, they could breathe much better, everything got better, their whole life got better. So might as well check with a doctor. Part 4, tonality. If you're an Aussie, Canadian, Californian, I got bad news for you. Like, you've basically have an inbuilt feminine speech pattern programmed into you since birth. Americans call this uptalk, and it basically means upward inflection at the end of your sentences.
7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation.
If you're from a Balkan country, or Russian, you're lucky. Downward inflection is kind of the standard there, right? Like, me Russian, me talk downward, me sound strong.
Very good, man. Very good.
If you put a downward inflection at the end of a sentence, it creates finality, a sense of clarity, a clear end to an idea. It lets the listener know that you're finished with that particular sentence. Whereas if you leave an upward inflection, where you just add an extra loop, kind of at the end, so everything sounds like a fucking question, it creates distrust.
What?
Ladies will think, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Not just ladies, everybody. Why should I trust him? He doesn't even trust himself. He doesn't know what he's saying, where it's going, when it ends, when it begins. Think about it like a piano, right? We got the low keys down here and the high keys up here. You can kind of do whatever you want in the middle, but at the end, it should go from higher to lower. It's interesting because Italians, they have super melodic voices. They kind of singing as they speak, but they still have the downward inflection in the end. So it might be like, spaghetti with pizza, mozzarella, espresso, it's me, Mario.
Margarete.
Like, sounds kind of weird, right? That's why they get a lot of shit for their voice, but it still sounds better than the Aussie, who goes, what do you do, California, bad. Okay, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Remove filler words, be a bit more monotone, stop saying and pause at the right moments, create tension. Learn how to breathe properly and remove uptalk. So now that you know how to talk, you might be thinking, Alex, I would love to practice all this with ladies, but I'm too old. I'm in my 30s, I'm in my 40s, I'm in my 50s, I'm a granddad already. Would a younger girl even want to date me? And if she did, would that make me, or you in this case, a creepy old guy? If you're confused about this topic, click here to watch a video I just released where I break down exactly how older guys can date younger women and why it solves so many relationship problems that you might have had in the past.